What's good, YouTube? It's your boy King Leo, and today we're going to be watching the Dallas Cowboys film against the 49ers, and honestly, we suck. I'm over it. We suck. We're not a good football team. I gave this team until after the bye week. I really didn't even want to give it that long, but I was like, you know what? Let me chill out. Let me calm down. This team really didn't start clicking until after the bye last time, so let's wait till the bye week. Let's see how we come out, and we're still not good. So we're just going to get straight into it. This is a couple plays I picked after watching the film yesterday just to give us some context to talk about the game, whatever. The last couple weeks I haven't been watching film just because I've been so caught up and so busy. But newsflash, the Cowboys still don't have a running game. We still cannot run the football. Our running back room is not very good. Everybody knows that. But to be honest, this offensive line isn't helping them either. And I don't think the coaching staff is helping them. We don't have a lot of creativity. But let's just take a look here. Going left to right, you see Tyler Smith ends up on the ground here. I mean, when you're on the O-line, you're going to end up on the ground. You're going to have these battles. But you see Smith on the ground. Tyler gets on the ground. We're going to see Terrence Steele get drove. BB ends up on the ground. 80 not like, it's just the Dallas Cowboys are not a very strong, not a very physical football team. When I feel like we have to keep saying this every week, like at what point is it just personnel? Like I feel like the coaches come in every week. They have to be like, we have to get more physical. We have to get more physical. It's like at what point is it just the guys that you got? This was the first third down of the game. And let's talk about this, man. Coming out of a bye week, Mike McCarthy, you got a whole extra week to prepare. There's a lot of negative stuff about you in the media. You got to draw something up. You're an offensive guy. I like to think you're a smart dude. First third down, 3rd and 5. What do we do? We throw our fullback in the backfield. Okay, maybe he's pass protecting. We're going to get some extra blockers in here. They got great rushes on this other side here. But no. Inside run for no gain. We don't block Fred Warner, all-pro, future Hall of Fame Fred Warner. We don't block him. So, that kind of told me all I needed to know from an offensive standpoint is that, first 3rd and 5, handoff Hunter Lipke. That's the best we got. That's the best we got to offer. This is in chronological order. So now we're going to go to the defensive possession. Now, honestly, we ran a lot of this still mug stuff. That's Mike Zimmer's game, double A gap. But the 49ers have this man, Deebo Samuel, who's a problem because he can line up in the backfield. He's a running back built like a receiver. And we go man coverage out of this double A gap look, and he's in the backfield. A linebacker's matched up on him, and he's a wide receiver. So this is honestly a great call, but this is just the 49ers having better personnel grouping. Like, that's hard to stop, a wide receiver coming out of the backfield for a linebacker. So, with Mike Zimmer, I feel like that was a great defense, but because the 49ers have a dude like Deebo, and, if he wasn't there, McCaffrey would be there. The 49ers just got great players, man. That's just where the players make a difference. Getting into our next rep, I don't remember why I pulled these plays, but, we're going to figure it out as we go along. Pulled them yesterday. This was Dak's first interception. First, Dak, some throws are careless from Dak. Dak has to be better. He's been turning the football over. He doesn't look like the same dude as last year, but I will give him grace on this throw because he really couldn't step into it. You're just going to get Turpin on a go route. We'll talk about the next Turpin go route soon. And because these guys got a Nick Bosa and because we also have a Tyler Guyton over here, if you look down here, Turpin has room. There's room for this ball to be dropped. This safety isn't making it all the way over to this grass. But due to the pressure, let's pull it back some. Focus on Terrence Steele over there, who honestly did not have the worst day. Like, he got beat on this play. He got beat some other plays, but that's Nick Bosa. That's going to happen one-on-one, but Nick Bosa didn't absolutely destroy him. Terrence Steele got his wins too, so hopefully nobody's out there poo-pooing on Terrence Steele, but even though he can be better. But like you see, Dak's not able to get all the way into this throw like he wants to. He's not able to follow through, and that's what forces the ball to hang inside because I don't think this was a bad decision because Turpin did have ground. Dak just wasn't able to get all the way through that throwing motion, which caused that interception. Not a terrible idea, just very unfortunate. I think this is from the end zone view of the same play. Take a look at Bosa on the right side. He just gets inside of Steele. And also, man, we got to have this talk about Zach Martin, man. Zach Martin, great career, Hall of Fame dude, but he's just not the same guy to me. He's losing. He's not losing the wars, but he's losing a lot more battles than what we're used to seeing him as. He gets pulled down here. Also, Tyler Guyton ends up on the ground getting beat around the corner, kind of. I'm gonna take a look at that left side. Yep. So yeah, offensive line play is not the best. So look, we talk about the Cowboys have no creativity in the run game. Now, whenever we get some creativity, I want y'all to see what happens. I'm just gonna let it play. We get some creativity. It's even a little bit broken. What happens? If I'm not mistaken, that's our longest run of the year. 13 yards. 13 yards. The Dallas Cowboys' longest rush on the year is 13 yards. Even on a broken play. But this is some creativity, right? Let's get to the edge. Let's get one of our explosive, quick, fast dudes to the edge. Shout out to CeeDee Lamb. You're going to see him come and crack down on Fred Warner. Allow Steele to pull, makes a block. Like, that's great stuff. That's great stuff. Let's add some creativity to the run game consistently. But, hey, I'm just a guy. I'm just a dude with a microphone. I got an iPhone, post on TikTok, got a laptop, watch film. But that's just what I see. That's what I would like to see, man. You see this wide open Deebo Samuel here. Now let's back this up. I don't really know if the Cowboys DBs know what they're doing. And I say that because in this coverage, I want you to look at Trayvon Diggs' technique. We'll get over here. But I just want you to watch Trey Diggs. Like, in what coverage does the boundary corner jump this far inside, hips inside, with nobody covering the boundary? And you see that he tries to get back out this way. Like, I don't know. Like, I want to say this is man, but I don't know. I'm just confused based on the technique of this. And then when you take a look at Jay Lou, and I believe this is Hooker up here, look how they handle this switch release. Jay Lou just tries to jump inside. Hooker's also jumping inside. Realistically, in my mind, this has to get passed off. It has to get passed off. Jay Lou has to pass this off, and then he has to take the wheel route, because if somebody's crossing your face, certainly somebody's coming behind. I wouldn't think Kendricks is in man coverage with Deebo Samuel. That wouldn't make sense to me, but it's just I have no idea what's going on, and that's what causes these big plays like this. I don't think that the Cowboys DBs know what's going on. Luckily, he stepped out of bounds, but let's see. Next rep. You know what? Early in this game, the Dallas Cowboys defense, from a rushing aspect, didn't look too bad. Brock Purdy was scrambling a lot, but the Cowboys really didn't start giving up yards on the ground until the third quarter. And this is great stuff. This is how it needs to look for the Cowboys. Look at the gap discipline with everybody. Edge containment. Boom, we're right here. We're right here. We got the cutoff, and then we got a 2-on-1 if he wants to cut back. Like, this is perfect. This is picture perfect. Every single gap is accounted for in the run game. And then look at the result. Now, we'll talk about it a little bit later. Again, this is phenomenal, man. This is phenomenal. You're going to see Trey Diggs. And if there's any Trey Diggs hate out there, man, we'll talk about it more. Trey Diggs, he had his one play where, y'all seen the reporter, y'all seen the viral tweet, whatever. Trey Diggs played his tail off in the run game. Outside of that one play where he was jogging, Trey Diggs played really hard today. But, you see him take on Juszczyk. That's tough to do. But he does it, allows another defender to get on the tackle. So, salute to Trey Diggs right there. You'll see a little bit later in this video that the run game started getting picked apart once the 49ers figured it out. And I think it starts on this play right here. It sure does. Garindo had a day. Rookie out of Louisville. Height, weight, speed dude. First of all, let's talk about this play design, right? So Kyle Shanahan, it's really just going to be a zone run, but we get tight end in motion going this way. You see how the linebackers react, and then you get Juszczyk going this way as if it's a counter. So the linebacker who could have stepped into this gap, He's respecting the counter because you've seen a tight end flow. Now you see huge check flow. So you're like, man, this is counter all day, and it's very deceiving, and there's a huge hole. Now, in terms of the hole, Mozzie Smith, nose tackle, playing the zero tech role right here. They're just washing them down. They're just washing them down in the zone scheme. We don't have enough bodies there. And you see, once the 49ers figure this out, they literally just went to it. Pretty sure this is the very next play, if I'm not mistaken. Same thing. Huge checks pulling, coming backside like on a split zone. Again, just wash them down and cut back against the grain. Like, once the 49ers figured that out, it was kind of wraps for Dallas. Especially since the offense didn't really give you none in the third quarter. The defense stayed on the field pretty much the entire time. Let's see what we got here on this play. Let's just look. Honestly, man, a lot of Cowboys fans that I see, we talk about trade Micah. Let's trade Micah Parsons. But have y'all noticed the pass rush that the Cowboys have had since he's been gone? It's non-existent. It's non-existent. No D-Law, DeMarcus. Like, Brock Purdy is sitting pretty. And even when he wasn't, he was running. Y'all know Micah Parsons is running Brock Purdy down. But the Cowboys certainly cannot trade Micah. I don't understand. I do get why you guys are saying it, because you just want to acclimate picks and rebuild this roster. But when you have an elite pass rusher like that, like, you have to hold on to those dudes, because we have no pass rush. This is ridiculous. Shout out to the guys coming up and making the tackle, but you just can't cover that long. You're asking to lose if you rush the passer like that. We'll get to this next play, though. Man, we got to have a talk about Donovan Wilson, y'all. And you know what? I've been a big Donovan Wilson fan. Donovan Wilson has energy. He's physical. He comes up with the box. He makes tackles. That's his game. As for playing coverage, that's not his game. He's just not the athlete to make these plays in space. Like, there was a lot of plays in this game I could have pulled more than what I did, but Donovan Wilson cannot cover. This is George Kittle, tight end, a lot bigger dude than him, and George Kittle's elite, obviously, but like, you just see the athletic ability. Like, that's a difference. Look at him just trying to stop on a dime, change direction, and that's after the catch. That's not even the coverage ability. That's just being an athlete after the catch. Again here, you see how slow his reaction is to come out of that break right here. You're supposed to be taking your resteps, 1, 2, 3, and you got to shoot out of there. And you just see the hesitation, just not great in coverage. This is the play we were talking about with Trey Diggs, where the media reporter tweeted, "What are you doing?" And, you know, he is jogging. He is jogging. He has to be accountable for that. He is jogging, hoping the other dudes make the tackles. But you'll see here in a minute, he ends up making up for it, because he had a pretty strong day. And this is just the Cowboys' run defense. I feel like Mike Zimmer was doing what he could. Like, you got a guy right here over the outside shoulder of the guard, outside shoulder of the guard, guy playing zero. And they're still just getting wiped down. Osa gets wiped down. Mozzie gets turned inside out. Like, to be honest, it's just a personnel thing in the run. We're saying this year after year, the Cowboys can't stop the run. It's a personnel thing. If this was a Dak interception, I'm not going to give him any grace for. Dak has to be smarter. If he's also more patient, I feel like he's become a little bit CD happy, and Dak Prescott and CD Lamb's connection did get better past the bye week, as it did last year. Like, they looked like they were more in sync. The timing was better, but sometimes he does force feed, and you're going to see on this play, check out Jalen Brooks. He's going to come open, and you're going to see it from the end zone angle. Dak kind of just threw a lollipop, tried to float it over. You hate to give them the ball right there, especially when you're down. Like, if anything, throw that away. But you're going to see Brooks comes into your picture right here. This is a window. If Dak, just gets back to him, his hands are up. He wants the ball. Another great play, though, by Lenore. This is an 8. Like I said, y'all, a lot of people are going to try to poo-poo on Trey Diggs for his, What am I looking for? A lot of people are going to try to get on Trey Diggs about that one play, but like Trey Diggs had a really, really good game in run support. We seen it earlier in this video. Right here, you see him tracking across field to track down Debo when he goes in this reverse motion here. Look at Trey Diggs beating Donovan Wilson over to the spot. Gets downhill, and then help him bring that guy down. That's a touchdown saving play, because I feel like if Debo is hitting this full speed and not trying to break down with Trey Diggs, I think Debo's going to score. So salute to Trey Diggs, man. Trey Diggs play hard. Man, what a route by CeeDee Lamb. Let's look at that route, y'all. Let's look at this route by Cedarian Lamb. I just wanted to point it out. So, I am a receivers coach too. Guys, at the top of your route, work these rocker steps. I also call it snake oiling. Like, really break this down, because this DB is responsible for CeeDee Lamb right now, and you see how much leverage he has to the outside. And CeeDee Lamb has an out-breaking route, and somehow he still wins. And why is that? Because 1 foot, left foot, and then you push to the right. You see, you get him just a step forward some, and now he has to open his hips, change direction, and CD gets separation on this. Like, that's really, really good route running. When you're battling that much leverage on an out-breaking route, that's phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal. Unfortunately, we can't get the ball to Ferguson here on the check down. And look, this was the last. These are the last 4 plays. Offense had a chance to win the game. We battled back. Defense got a big stop when they needed to. Offense was scoring. I wasn't going to show the CeeDee Lamb breakdown type plays. Wasn't much to talk about, just breakdowns and coverage. But this was first down. I have no idea what Dak is seeing. What throwing lane is he throwing into? Like I said, I think he gets a little CD happy. Fred Warner there, Lenore there. Like, the coverage, if these guys weren't here, I think CD makes that coverage, but the coverage isn't bad. But trying to get that through 2 dudes, I'm just confused with Dak not seeing those dudes. That wouldn't make sense to me. Here we go, second down, 2nd and 10. Get a switch release on the left side here. Let's just go back and see what happens. Just check if anybody at all is open. CD and Cavante switch. Honestly, I feel like, to be honest, there's nobody open. And you know what? Something that I hate, y'all, is mirrored passing concepts. Like, if you look at this side, you're going to get a corner flat. You look at this side, you're going to get a corner flat. And if you're playing the same coverage, if the defense is playing the same coverage to the one way of the field, it's going to be locked up on both sides. There's not like a progression to it. Because if Dak looks left and it's covered, by the time he comes right, it's going to be covered. Like, there's nothing else to come through and see. And I feel like I'm just not a fan of mirrored passing concepts. I don't know about y'all, but it doesn't work good for me. I like to consistently work my 1 to my 2 to my 3 to my 4. And not just 1 and 2 running the same thing, because even if he looked to the left side and it wasn't there and he wanted to pull back to the right, this side of the field already ran their routes. And Dak Prescott, another thing I want to talk about with him is I don't think he's the same athlete, man. He's not the same athlete. Even as last year, like, I know we're not going to get Mississippi State Dak Prescott back, but last year, he was getting out of here. He was making plays outside the pocket. But this year, he's kind of just been a sitting duck. And we need Dak to be on the move. That's when he was at his best last season, on the move, getting outside the pocket, hitching up, stepping out, like making those type of plays. And you just see here, he's just not able to get that separation from a interior defensive lineman. That's just a little concerning to me. Third down, though, however, this is the Cavante Turpin play. Honestly, Dak put this ball literally in the best spot he possibly could. And Cavante Turpin, he just doesn't have the ability to make that catch. And that's a personnel thing. Cavante's great at what he does. Gadget dude, explosive play, make you miss type dude. But this was the throw of the night from both quarterbacks. Throw of the night. Even kind of a little rushed. Puts the ball right on Cavante Turpin's face mask on the outside shoulder. Like, it's really good coverage. You really can't guard that any better. But Cavante just doesn't have the ability to make that play. And that's personnel. So then we get into a 4th down here. And, yeah, rush is coming through, like, guys on the ground. Dak Prescott has to roll out to avoid it and force a throw over here to Jalen Brooks. Did he get pay PI? I'm not going to call PI. The defender was looking for the ball. Feet got tangled up, but it just wasn't a winning play to me. So that's this film session, y'all. I'm going to try to be more consistent. I just be so busy to, like, get these plays together and, talk over this film. So if you haven't, go follow me on TikTok. I'm a lot more consistent on there. We're going to go live 3 times a week. So y'all check out the TikTok if you're not on there. Let me know whatever other videos y'all want to see, man. I love doing this stuff. I love interacting with y'all. If you haven't subscribed yet, we're going to hit 1K one day on the YouTube side. We hit it on the TikTok side. So we're going to hit it one day on the YouTube side. If you haven't liked the video, until then, I appreciate you guys watching. If you made it this far, peace.